Good afternoon, students. Today we'll be studying about the antibiotics. So you know very well what is antibiotic. So you know the bacteria or the microbes are spreading all over the world as well as in our environment, which is making us too much disease and different infections. So that's why we should use some antimicrobials. So antimicrobials means that's the drug. Those are the drugs which can kill the bacteria, virus, fungus, and different another pathogens. So especially from this total category of the drug, we will be highlighting one by one. But first of all, we should know what is antibiotics. Like antibiotics means the drugs which will be killing the bacteria. That means different type of bacteria will be killed or inhibited their growth. So now contents of the study is why we should study antimicrobial, historical background, classification, beta-lactam antibiotic and penicillins and their disadvantages, their structure-activity relationship. We will be discussing about this. Okay. So why we study antimicrobials? To select the drugs. So first category is the selectivity. That means particular bacteria has infected. So that's why we should select the drug which will be having low toxicity. That means higher the selectivity, lower the toxicity. That means there is infection, and if you randomly choose any antibiotic, then there may be chances of toxicity. But if you particularly inform or diagnose which bacteria is infecting, so as a result, bacteria will be killed very in a smoother way, and as a result, the toxicity will be lower. So the selective toxicity towards the bacterium rather than the host. That means the toxicity will be in such a way that the toxicity will be given to the bacteria only, not to the host. Then coming to the therapeutic index, the ratio of the toxic dose to the effective therapeutic dose. That means toxic dose and therapeutic dose ratio should be minimum. As a result, the toxic dose does not create any harm to the patient. Okay. Next category of antibiotics. How it is categorized? One is categorized into bactericidal, one is bacteriostatic. Bactericidal means the killing of the bacteria, and bacteriostatic means the growth of the bacteria is inhibited. Now, bactericidal antibiotics are preferred in serious infection where the bacterial killing, total destruction of the bacteria is required. Now, antibiotic susceptibility testing. That means the antibiotic should be susceptible to such bacteria which can be calculated through the minimum inhibitory concentration. That means the bacteria will be killed with smaller amount of concentration so that it will be particularly killing the bacteria, not the host, and not creating any toxicity to the host cell. Now, minimum bactericidal concentration. That means the bacteria's death rate will be controlled by the minimum amount of concentration of the bacteria. Next, coming to the combination therapy. Sometimes some of the bacteria is going for the combination therapy because they can kill by two type of antibiotic. So as a result, synergism effect will be given. Synergism means the double dose or the combination dose of the drug. Next, antagonism. Sometimes we have to see whether some of the antibiotic is resisted or their action is prevented by some another antibiotic or not, or another drug is not. Now, antibiotic and chemotherapeutic agents, as the antibiotic having the chemical structure of synthetic, that's why their chemotherapy is too much higher. As a result, the bacterial origin should be given, or the selectivity of the bacteria should be in such a way that the antibiotic get killed by the particular drug. Now, classification of the antibiotic. How? Based on the chemical nature, the bacteria antibiotic are classified into beta-lactam antibiotics, aminoglycoside antibiotic, tetracycline antibiotic, polypeptide antibiotic, macrolide antibiotic, lincomycin, and other antibiotic. Based on the mechanism action, that means how the antibiotic will be killing the bacteria. So that is classified in such a way. See, the inhibiting protein synthesis, 30S and 50S ribosomal subunit in bindings. That means the ribosome, the synthesis of the RNA and DNA will be prevented. Then the binding to the 30S ribosomal subunit, these are the category of the aminoglycoside. Or for the 30S and 50S ribosomal subunit binding, we can choose the tetracycline category of the drug. Effect on the nucleic acid metabolism, that means the nucleus of the bacteria where the nucleic acid will be prevented for the replication, whereas rifamycin will be category Antimetabolite, antimicrobial. So that is also effective on the different microbes acting on the cell wall, penicillin and cephalosporin. These are the drugs which will be killing on the, which will be acting on the cell wall. As a result, the cell wall will not be synthesized. As a result, the bacteria will not be able to grow and acting on the cell membrane like the polymyxin. Okay. Next, we are going to another category. Just one second. Beta-lactam antibiotics. So the beta-lactam antibiotic having particularly some structure which is containing sulfur and nitrogen where 5-membered and 4-membered rings are there. So similar chemical structure with the enzymatic structure. So they have the high efficacy and low toxicity and frequently prescribed as they have a broad range of antibiotic as they have the broad range of bacterial property, that's why frequently prescribed. And cell wall synthesis inhibitor. These drugs are working by the inhibiting the cell wall. So the drugs coming after this category: penicillin, cephalosporin, carbapenem, ferropenem. These are the orally effective drug, and monovector. Now coming to the structure or category. Whereas beta-lactam antibiotics, the antibiotic which contain beta-lactam ring are the beta-lactam antibiotics. See the ring here, sulfur and nitrogen containing 5-membered, and one is nitrogen containing 4-membered ring. So this ring is known as the beta-lactam ring. So this ring is present in generally penicillin, cephalosporin, monovector, and carbapenem. See, so you can see. So at the if we start from the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So here is the lactamase, that is the enzyme that is derived from the cell wall, can inhibit the or can break down the structure of the beta lactam. Okay. So this lactamase ring, lactamase enzyme is working on this beta lactam. So sometimes this drug is also known as a beta lactamase inhibitor. See the cephalosporin, there is R1 and R2. These substitution are known as the R1 and R2, where the R1 and R2 is changing. As a result, the structure of the drug is also changing, and the name of the drug is also changing. This is a carbapenem and this is a monovector. Next, penicillin. Now coming to the history of the penicillin. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928 from the Penicillium notatum, that is a fungus. So penicillin is now obtained from the fungus Penicillium cryogenum also for therapeutic use. So 6-aminopenicillinic acid is the main moiety. See the 5-membered sulfur and nitrogen containing ring is there, and just one second. Okay, 6-membered sulfur and nitrogen containing ring. Here one substitution will be there and one amino group will be there, NH-COOH. That's why COOH amino group is there and COOH, and there will be a side chain. So this is known as a 6-aminopenicillinic acid. Take care. Draw the structure in your copy. Now coming to the nomenclature of this drug, where you can see the chemical abstract of this drug. This is known as a 4-thia-1-azabicycloheptanes. See here, 4-thia means at the sulfur position. So this nomenclature is given like this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, and this nomenclature can be given in such a way that 1, 2, 3, 4. This way you can also start numbering. Azabicyclo means nitrogen containing ring, and bicyclo means 2 rings are there, and heptanes means 7 carbon containing. That's why it is known as the azabicyclo. Okay. So benzyl penicillin, the chemical name is C6,2-phenylacetamide. At the 2 position there is a acetamide group, 3,3-dimethyl. At the 3 position there will be 2 derivatization, 7-oxo-4-thia, 1-azabicycloheptane, 3-carboxylic acid, and penum, where bicyclic ring system is present and it is known as a carbapenem. Next, coming to the next slide. Coming to some important penicillins. So these are the other drug: penicillin G, penicillin V, and phenycicillin. See the structure: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See at the R group there is a substitution. You can see the first array, whereas the R will be substituted with this penicillin G, penicillin V, and phenycicillin. Okay. Next slide. I'm going to next slide. Now, classification of penicillin. So that is the beta-lactam is sensitive natural penicillin. That means the beta-lactamase enzyme may be working on this. So penicillin G, that is a penicillin B, penicillin G, procaine penicillin, and benzathrin C. That means this drug will be acting against the beta-lactamase enzyme. Now, beta-lactamase resistance, that whereas the beta-lactamase enzyme cannot work on this type of drug, like the anti-staphylococcal penicillin, that is a cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, flucloxacillin, methicillin, and nefacillin, and that can be injected through the IM and IV route. Now, expanded spectrum penicillin, acid resistant and acid liable. That means these drugs are acid resistant. That means 6-aminopenicillinic acid cannot destroy the structure of this drug, like aminopenicillin, ampicillin, amoxicillin, vancomycin, telampicillin, and some of the acid liable that can be degraded to the 6-aminopenicillinic acid: anti-pseudomonal penicillin, carboxypenicillin, carbanicillin, ticaricillin, uridopenicillin. These are the drugs which can be degraded through the acid. Now, natural penicillin, so that is derived from the Staphylococcus aureus, so listed as the anti-Staphylococcus, and obtained from the fermentation of the mold Penicillium cryogenum. And these drugs are known as the penicillin G and penicillin V. Now, classification of penicillin. So they are classified into two categories: natural and semi-synthetic. One is acid liable and one is acid resistant. And semi-synthetic is categorized into penicillin is resistant and beta-lactamase inhibitor, penicillin G and penicillin V. So penicillin G is known as benzyl penicillin. Penicillin V is known as the phenoxymethyl penicillin. Penicillin is resistant or beta-lactamase inhibitor, extended spectrum, procaine penicillin G and benzathrin penicillin G. These are the example of this drug. These are the drugs obtained from the fungus Penicillium notatum, present source from the Penicillium cryogenum. Now, structure coming here again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Penicillium nucleus, beta-lactam ring. Here, beta-lactam ring means 1 sulfur nitrogen containing, and thiazolidine ring. That is a thiazolidine. That means sulfur containing, nitrogen containing ring is known as a thiazolidine. And as this is saturated, that's why lidine. Side chain is there, R1. The 6th position there is a section, and 2 6 sister group will be there, and then the CWH group. So the beta lactam ring is known as the hair, nitrogen containing 4-membered oxo R side chain. This is the R side chain, and this is the thiazolidine. Okay, sulfur containing, nitrogen containing, saturated, that's why thiazolidine ring. Okay, that's known as the penicillin. Next, SAR of the penicillin, which is very important, that is 6 acyl side chain. See at the 6 acyl side chain. So that is very much important for the see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. At the 6th position, R substitution. So electron withdrawing group protects from site degradation. That means if there is electron withdrawing group present in the 6th position, that will protect the drug from the acid degradation. That means 6-aminopenicillinic acid will be inactive against this group. So what are the group will be present over there? Amino, chloro, and guanidine substitution exerts good acid resistance. So if it is containing, see here amino group is present, or it may be chloro group, or it may be guanidine group, that will prevent the acid resistance. Coming to the benzyl penicillin, that is also one category, that is acid resistant and alkali resistant also, and beta lactam is susceptible drug. Next, acetylionation of 6-APA, 6-aminopenicillinic acid. If there is acetylation going on in this ring, CH3CO, so that will superior the bioactivity. That means the drug's activity will be increased. So at the 6th position, alpha aryl substitution increases the stability and oral absorption. Bulky group, if bulky group is present here, then it will beta-lactamase resistance property will be provided. That means that will be preventing the beta-lactamase enzyme. Hydroxymethyl group also producing here, which can improve the gram negativity. That means that will be killing the gram negative bacteria. See, germinal dimethyl group is there. Stars, products, increase lipophilicity and acid susceptibility. Acetoxymethyl ester. That means if this compound is esterified, that will increase the lipophilicity. That means lipid solubility will be increased and acid stability will be increased. Okay, so at the 6th position, what are the probable changes can be there? Next, going to the mechanism of action, how the drugs going to act. So if they are inhibiting the cell wall synthesis by blocking the cross-linking, and cross-linking is blocked by the inhibition of the cleavage of terminal D-alanine, transpeptidation of the 5-glycan chain residue, inhibiting the cell wall synthesis damages the cell. So high osmotic pressure inside the cell and low osmotic pressure outside the cell causes cell to burst due to weak and unstable cell wall. Bactericidal. So autolysis released from the penicillin PBP complex to digest remaining cell wall remnants. You see the structure of the cell wall, cytoplasm membrane, where penicillin and another structure is making a complex PBP. So that is incorporating into the inside of the cell, where NAM and NAG is there. NAM and NAG means N-acetyl muramic acid, N-acetyl glutamic acid. They are the two important amino acids present in the bacteria, which is used for the bacterial growth. So that will be inhibited. See, amidase and penicillinase enzyme is working in this site of action of penicillinase. penicillinoic acid and 6-aminopenicillinic acid. Site of action is of amylase, thiazolidine, beta-lactam ring. So with some enzyme, the drug can also be degraded. So to this, thank you. So what are the things you should study from here? What is beta-lactamase enzyme? What is antibiotic? What are their classification? What do you know by acid resistant, acid liable antibiotic? And draw the structure of penicillin G, penicillin B. Okay. Next, beta-lactamase enzyme and the SAR of the penicillin, mechanism of action. That's all. To this you can study. Thank you. Thank you all.